Hello Zimbabwe, welcome to yet another exciting episode of your favorite show, Mwana Wevu, here on Citizen Voice Network. My name is Samuel Takaura, and today we are in Mondoro, and I have a very special guest. I've known Xolisani Ncube for quite a number of years now. He's a fellow journalist, and he's turned into farming. We want to hear kuti zvokumunyatsofamba sei. So today we are in Mondoro, joined by Mr. Ncube here. Mr. Ncube, sanganeni muri Zimbabwe.
Kwazwai, muri Zimbabwe. Thank you very much, Sam, for visiting my small area here in Mondoro. Welcome.
It's small but very promising.
Thank you indeed.
Yes. So I want to understand how did you acquire this piece of land, Mr. Ncube? At what point in your career did you decide that I want to have this space that you have in Mondoro?
So in 2019, somewhere there, with the COVID-19, 2019,
Yes.
2020, I had some lump sum of money that I had after working through the COVID-19 era. And whilst I was developing in Harare as a journalist, I said to myself, I need to have a place where I can escape to. Each time I need to have fresh air. So I went all over looking for place. I went to Dema area, I went to Lomboshawa area. Then thank God we found this area. It's here in Mondoro. This is 56 kilometers from Harare. So we wanted somewhere where we can be close to Harare, where if you want to drive through or drive to, we can come easily towards and enjoy. Hence we came here and we bought this land. It's a 2-hectare plot, basically, but yeah, we're trying to learn farming. Yeah.
So I forgot to say that you practiced media both locally and internationally. You worked for international stables, which is a very good thing. Can you tell our viewers, is this people tend to speak about sub deals, but blah blah. Is this a sub deal or is this a piece of land that you?
This is not a sub deal, but it's a piece of land that I bought. It was sub deals end somewhere about about a kilometer from here. But this area begins the farming area called Kwapama. Yes, so we are the boundary of that area. Though small, we are just near the suburb areas, but it's an area that I bought. Just got to work for it. Yes, and I paid good money for it.
But the area seems to be developing at a very fast pace. We've seen your house there. It's quite a unique development that you have here. Compared to town life, I know you have properties in Harare, but it seems your interest is slowly shifting to this place. How did you then decide to say, I'm leaving this beautiful property in Harare and spend most of my time? Yes, we know that you still go to Harare here and there, spend most of your time here, and the kids are here. The schools have closed and the kids are here. That interest.
So, well, thank you. You asked about where I got the interest and probably decision to come and relocate or spend much of my time here.
Yeah.
It emanates from the events of 2022. To be precise, on 2 March, which was on a Thursday. I remember very well.
You remember everything vividly.
Vividly, because it's a day that it changed my career path. I had a cousin brother. I grew up in the Shona culture, in the Valley culture, where a brother is a brother, but in English, he's a cousin brother. So he came home to visit in Waterfalls, and he's an armed robber. We didn't know that he was an armed robber, but we just gave him a place to sleep.
You can't let your brother out there.
So but unfortunately, he had firearms with him. I never knew. I never saw them. And the police were looking for him.
He was on the wanted list.
Yes. So when they came and arrested him, I was also arrested on that day. And my life changed because I was charged with armed robbery as well as possession of firearm, because the argument was Some of the firearms they found at my house, which he had been taken from a robbery incident. Then also the firearms were found at my house. And this guy wasn't willing to take ownership of his things. The police couldn't let me go. I was charged. I spent some time, about 21 days in Remand prison as a D-class prisoner, staying with those chains. I can't move freely. So I was, a story was written about me by the Herald. It still pains me a lot that a journalist come robber, he's been arrested. My employer then, Newsroom Africa, couldn't. No,
They wouldn't take it.
You wouldn't take it. I was fired immediately. I had a good job, Sam. Well-paying job. My career was on the rise,
Yeah, you went
promising, and was cut short. I went through a depression. I went through stress. So as a way of finding solace, dealing with my stressing moment, I realized I had bought a property here. I used to come here just to come and cry alone, away from people, and I would come here, cry, go back to town. Because in town, I used to face my kids who had been traumatized.
By
So yes, by the experience. So but each time I look at them, I would cry on my own.
I know we're talking about farming, but I think I need to also weigh in and say that I think you remember I was also arrested and arrested for covering the story of Joanna Mamombe, Cecilia Chimbiri, and Netsai Maro, who were allegedly abducted. We don't know if to date we don't know if that was true. But I also feel for you because what the Herald reported and what had transpired, we ended up being charged with a social distancing. I don't know the terminology for that, but we were then charged for social distancing. But they were admitted after they were discovered by the roadside. They were taken to Parktown Hospital. That's where they were receiving treatment, and so we were arrested after covering that story. And the Herald was journalists smuggled themselves into Parktown Hospital, like with some form of criminals.
Yes.
So I just wanted to sympathize with you there, that what then the Herald reports and what would have happened worlds apart.
Yes,
which is not good as journalists.
It kills a career, basically.
Yeah, you see, because the way they also reported our case was that we entered through the back windows in an attempt to see these ladies, but we went through the front door. Yet those COVID-19 precautions or measures, scanning of temperature, application of what was that code, that
the
sanitizer. Yeah, so we also went through that. But how then the story then came into the era? It's a state paper, but people that are there, the way that they report and cover issues, it's pathetic to say. But yes, I feel for you. So I want to come back to your story. Wasn't your brother willing to take the fall on his own? He wanted to go down with you.
Sam, it's unfortunate. My brother was also a fool. Sorry to use that word, but he was. Because throughout the trial, I went through the entire trial. I was acquitted.
So you're now a free person.
Yeah, I'm not a free person. He maintained his innocence, trying to blame it on me, to say he's the owner of the property where we were arrested. He must account for those firearms. I'm just about a visitor. Appreciate. So it's one of the things that really ate me big time. I find it difficult to forgive him, but I have to. I'm a Christian, but I just pray that maybe one day I'll fully forgive him. It's one thing to hold on. It eats me into, and that's the thing that really forced me to be here, because each time I woke up at night, look at the future of my kids, which had been doomed, and here I am, the promising future, how it was cut short. I really struggled. I would cry. So the guy never took ownership of everything.
until the last day, even after conviction. I think he believes that he should be out. He believes I should be inside. When look, my only mistake was to give him accommodation, which I think I've learned my lessons from there. I don't allow people just to come at home. It's an African, but it is what it is. I have to do what I must do to protect myself. Such life.
So are you still in talking terms with him? Yes, he's still inside. Do you visit him or?
It's difficult. I find it painful. I pray God will give me a heart to forgive him totally. Because each time I think about his name, I think about where I was. I find it difficult, to be honest, to forgive him. I find I can't even visit him because my question is simple. Had he accepted his fault, maybe I could have been somewhere in life. Maybe I could have gone back to my career that I love so much. But now I can't.
But you say that you're a Christian, and I think that everything happens for good to them that love the Lord. This new career path could be difficult at inception, but I think what we have seen it's a promising piece of land that we have. And you have said that you have done tomatoes. You got something out of those tomatoes. You ate butternut that were at a break-even point. So tell us that experience, that shift from being a journalist into a farmer. Was there any experience involved? Yes, you grew up in an African setup where we used to do subsistence, and at times maybe we would have surplus that we would sell to the grain marketing board, but it wasn't much. But was there any form of training during the transition period?
Not really per se, but at school I did agriculture up to Form 4, and then I went to do commercials, then journalism. But you realize that the basic understanding of agriculture, which I had at Form 4, combined with the practical agriculture experience from the farm I learned when I was a child with my grandfather, it helped me to start. Then also I had to read a lot. I had to start to read a lot and consult the agronomists around this area. I would invite them to come and each time I see a problem in a plant, I would invite them. And my plants are turning blue or they're turning black. They've got spots. They've got this and that. How can we best know? How do we best handle them? They come and teach me. I think now, first crop, yes, I learned a lot. Now I'm trying to practice what I learned. If you look at it today, my crop is far much better than it was last time. And also the output, I'm seeing a better promising yield with the current tomatoes that are there because it's coming from experience, which I gained from the previous crop. In farming, Sam, the best teacher is doing what you must do. I'll be honest with you. That is the best teacher that I learned in farming. You can have your textbook knowledge, but it changes due to weather, due to climate, due to soil structure, due to environment, due to a lot of things, right? So, but the best experience comes from practicing on the ground. And hence I'm spending much time here because I realize I must learn as well. I have a helper, but I must know. If I'm applying, for instance, if I'm applying fertilizer, I must know the quantity. I must experience the challenges that come with over application or an application. I must experience how plants turn when they are healing or when they are failing to adapt to the new medication or to the new herbicides. I must learn or the new pesticides. I must learn that practically. Hence, I feel like that has been my transition. Painful as it is because it's not like a decision I made, but I was healing. More importantly, Sam, farming for me, seeing a crop grow, bloom flowers, bear fruits, that gives me satisfaction. Teaches me to have patience in everything. So each time I look at it, I say, look, I was up, I'm now down. I believe one day I'll be up.
You come up again.
Because if the plant can start from down, grow, again, give birth again, twice or so, I think I've managed to heal quickly from those challenges.
So do you think farming has provided you the therapy that you were looking for after the traumatic experience that you went through? 21 days behind bars, legs in chains, being accused of something that you didn't do. Is therapy worked?
To a large extent. Because each time I come here, I heal. Even the forgiving part, each time I come here, I find myself forgive not only my brother, but you know the painful part of it. I don't problem with my brother, but I found it difficult. A fellow journalist, writing 5 stories about me, labeling me an armed robber. The tag that I used to enjoy writing about people. I used to enjoy writing about people. Now here I was a victim. Now
Tag was a tend.
Tag was a tend. Being associated with a notorious armed robber who police were looking for 20 years. You understand? And he's a young journalist whose strength is in writing and broadcasting. So I found it very difficult. We grew up in the field of journalism with this cardinal rule that we don't write about each other. But it pained me more when a fellow journalist just goes out and like that. In fact, presents as a fact that you're an armed robber, not an assumption. He convicts you in the paper. So, but here now in agriculture, I've learned to let things go, forgive myself first, learn to accept things. God is a way of doing things. Maybe it was God was telling me something. And I can tell you I believe so, because the way I love farming these days, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying every bit of it, because see my plants grow, eating from my land. It's something that satisfies my soul. Not only my heart, but my soul. It goes inner to my soul. And as well as getting $1 from it, it's something. Imagine uchitengesa madumasako.
You celebrate you celebrate even the first 50 cents. It's not much, but the fact that there's someone who came and reward you for the work that you for the effort that you put into farming.
The feeling I have now, the feeling I had when I began journalism, that's about 18 years ago. 2009.
Your first byline.
My first byline, I remember in Daily News. My first front page story. Some 15 April, 2009.
You remember the yes. I 2009. I think. I don't know if cell phones were a thing then.
Yes.
But I think you would take a picture and send it to every relative, every person that met us, say, I am on the front page. My name is on the front page.
I remember the story about that. What was about, Mbengegwi was a minister of foreign affairs. He summoned two ambassadors. It was at the time of the GNU was being consumed, being consummated, right? So he summoned two ambassadors to brief them. Then Johnson Moyo was an independent MP. He said something which was against Mbengegwi. And I wrote a story to put Johnson Moyo here and Mbengegwi here. Yeah. I called my mom, who is in Kadoma. I said, Mom, by Daily News today, I want the first page, Daily, So it was like that. And you also remember we're building up towards the World Cup. So there was that euphoria, that around coming there. So that happiness in me. I kept that paper. I kept it. Somewhere I think it is there in Harare. I kept it. So the kind of happiness that I had then, I have it now each time I sell from a tomato, because I say this is my sweat. This is my dollar multiplying itself. Remember, in farming, there's one statement which they say in Shona, the amount you put in will definitely come back. There's a very statement that pains me in farming when they say, Muvu munemari. I've learned to interpret it in 2 ways. Either unopinza mari, kana unotora mari. So always pray unopinza mari, uzowana mari. So I feel like this is where my sweat is. The same strength I had in journalism at first. If I direct it here, I think I'm living a healthy life now. I don't expect to have had I remained the way I was the same. 2023, 2024.
Would have buried you. But
Definitely, because I don't have high blood pressure and everything.
So were there no instances where you had some suicidal thoughts? There's nothing to live for.
So if you look at that tree, which is at the gate there, each time I used to come here, I would come here think about two things. Especially during the trial. Remember, my trial went through 2023, period of my election year. And armed robber.
And election period for journalists is it's a period where we make some better, no, because it's always dry. So when it's election time,
you've got many contacts. Yes. By the way, I'm a journalist. I look at myself in that way. I have many contacts and experience. So that time, my media so know where and they look for senior journalists. They know the terrain. And here I am, but always there's this take. So I couldn't work very big. So I used to come here now. I would sit beneath the tree there. Even when I was in prison, I now know how to kill myself very well. So good, I know that I claimed kuma kundukazi kunurwara dine nechikosoro sandoda mamoxicillin ndikagara 10 days isingadyi scarf. Idea was I was told by someone in prison spend about 14 days isingadyi chizvinyima chikafu wozomwa machi mamoxicillin ka1 unofa because anoshanda pari empty. So achakuuraya. So every day I was getting two. Idea was to take my own life. But thank God, by then I had a very supportive system, family. They would always encourage me. They brought food, but I never ate. I was keeping it for the fateful day. Third attempt.
So you had 2 attempts where they refused bail?
I had 2 attempts where my bail wasn't considered. Third one,
High Court or
High Court.
Street Court?
No, Robert is always High Court. I was, I
also stayed in the G class with matters. So were you sharing the same cell with your brother?
No, my brother had been shot, so he was in the hospital. But I was sharing the same cell with his other co-accused. And remember, I'm sharing people whom I don't know, but they are my co-accused. I've never seen them in my life, but they have become my co-accused, and it's painful. And you know what the painful part of it? My brother was plotting to rob me. Had he not been arrested, because I was working for a very good employer who was paying me so I didn't marry yangu and I to take chimota changu Maria akashanza kubadala lawyer. I thank God I had a good lawyer, admired by that guy is good, he knows law, he helped me. It's expensive, it doesn't come cheap. I sold out my cars. I had 2 cars. I sold them out, and I also cut my lifestyle. Imagine 2 years. Remand, an accused person. 2022 da, 2023 da. I'm the barricadona. Kasara position. Yakasudona 2025.
But that anxiety of waiting for a trial that you don't know which way will it go. It could go either ways. You can be convicted or you can be acquitted. I know that period is not a good period per se, because you don't know, because you think that I think you then start reading about similar cases.
Sam, there is no case law that I never wrote, that I never read. I read every case law available. I had 2 options. My brother sent people to say, go and tell my young brother to run away, to flee Zimbabwe. I said, I will never run away from my family. I will never run away from my kids. Look, I've got 3 boys. I've got my beautiful, my handsome boys, right? And here I am. I'm being told to run away from them. His idea was, if I run away, when he goes for trial, he will then put everything on me and say, the boy ran away, I'm out on bail, he's inside. So I said, I will never. People went out, everybody close to me. Besides that, when you're going for trial, there are times when the trial makes turns and twists, when the witnesses even try to implicate you. But I think prayer is important. I believed in God throughout and I prayed.
That moment, you know, prayer or
But those days 2023 akudenga because I used to fast, I used to pray. Akuna goma na sakwena kuna mtemo ndakakwena mtemo ne mwana wangu my son. We climbed the mountain on top of it to pray. Why? Because I was saying, my son, I cannot feed mwana wangu. But you have to go to school, and he was at a boarding school, an expensive boarding school. And I said to my kids, even if that's your lifestyle should not change. Thank God I had some supportive friends, in government and outside system, who made a decision to say, young men, we've bought your story, you're not an armed robber. We will stand by you. We will provide school fees for them. We will help you with minimum substance. But look, a journalist is my caliber. The enemy must die there, man. And
then one day you go
so I went to my kids everywhere. I went to I went and prayed. You understand? I would, when I felt like praying, I would take my kids, would walk and come. Would go and pray. Remember, I'm an Adventist. I would go each and every one night to pray. I shared the church. I would go because my idea was Marika. Padazi mungu anakakutadzira. I ndaka pupura zvizvangu zvose zvanoziva. And my kids today, if you look at them, they pray from that instance. So, the anxiety. Imagine every day, I used to report every Friday and Wednesday, Quarterforce police station. So wherever I can go, I must be back.
By Friday.
By Friday. Even by Wednesday. Meaning, if I leave on Monday, Tuesday I must be back. Or Wednesday, I must be back and report.
So that there's no margin of error.
Yes. My worst fear I had was, I'm a journalist. Because there was also a feeling among some police officers. Could Kanasi armed robber their source of information for armed robbers? Because he knows people. There are people vakatoramba kundoona vakatoroti amfana yoga pamwe wakutingisa mangwana from armed robbers. This buzz of mine is a dangerous one. Munhu mbava kwete $2. Munhu kuba. So we never knew because we never had that much interact naye. When I go to South and here I was. So yeah, it was a very painful time. It's
painful indeed. But we want to also mix your story because it's your source. It's the thing that made you start farming. So here and there we'll be mixing the two. But the area that you are in, as we were touring the farm, I told you that your soil, this one needs it's not the best. But it needs feeding. So how do you manage? The tomatoes? How do you manage the butternut? How do you manage the carrots? How do you manage the vegetables in the garden there?
Just to tell you the honest truth, the vegetables you saw, they are organic. There's no fertilizers in them. Those vegetables you saw them. The tomatoes, I put fertilizer. Two things you must always do. Every land. It's about what you do to it. You must always learn to maximize what you have. And then we learn. This is the only land I have. So I buy from within the community. I buy manure, a mombe. I'm also doing work. Using some runners. There are very few, but I'm building on that. I'm also doing compost. So I feed my land. Then, at least, yes, the harvest might not be the best, but I believe I'm above average.
Average, yeah.
That's my target. So I put a lot of manure. I also do a lot of crop rotation. You saw Panema Domas. There's Panema Domas at Korea. Last year there was last season there was cabbage. There's a last year, punish baggages. You understand? If you told me there's an area Panadomas, next one punish bag. My idea is I must put Madomas. Is to ensure I rotate the portions. Ideally, I want to ensure every year I've got tomatoes here. Those are what towards. Because I believe in farming, consistency and good farm management will keep you afloat. Once you create your market, there must be no cost they can find tomatoes at here. And last year I supplied not very well. This year, beginning next week, I'll be on the market. And I know until around October next year, I'll be on the market. But I must ensure I maintain my quantity. At least I must be able to produce 10 to 15 boxes every week.
So when we started earlier on, you said that you had a break even with butternut. You made a profit with tomatoes.
Yes.
So have you failed? Has any of the crops that you have done so far failed?
Cabbage. I did cabbage. I had about 4,000 plants. I failed. I was lost. You know why? My source of water by then, but even still now, I believe it's not good for cabbages. And I've made a decision. I will never do cabbages again. If I do cabbage, it's only for my small consumption. I have them about 200. It's only for my consumption, for my family consumption, but not for resale.
For reselling, not for commercial purposes.
Yeah, I can't, because cabbage require a lot of water. I'm trying to learn. If you saw there's other land behind you, it's how I want to do beginning February. It's a hectare. I want to put in butternut. I know butternut I can do it. Because I've done it, so I can do it. I want to do butternut and tomatoes and see, maybe God willing and allowing, I would do a bit of keto benefit. Yeah, if you also got boots. I want to do boots, but I was discouraged by the space. But I'm still considering to say, how about if I take the pure breeze in small quantities and see if I can. But I'm told the boots are kubereka. So even if I get a 10 dick within 2 years,
that one.
Wow, my 40. So that's another thing I'm looking at.
So when we also toured the place, I saw that there is green pepper there, and there is a lot of things in smaller quantities. And you told me that you first do a trial run of. Can you explain more on that?
So because of and now the academic know-how in agriculture, I started by doing a small trial run to see if I'm able to manage it. How do I do it? To see if I'm able to manage the pests and diseases that attack that crop. I know them. I know, like for instance, you saw my green pepper. They are attacked by same diseases and not attack. So now if I'm able to manage them, right, I can then put a bigger portion. If you saw the portion which is cleared there, I want to put around 1.5 plants of green pepper. I've sourced the seedlings, the seedling yacho. Why am I doing that? I now know I can manage it. If I fail past dog, then I know I can do it past wombe. I dare to learn. If you saw I'm putting my carrots, because of my small area, I want to do crop cycle. I need a crop which breaks the other cycle, right? So I want to put in either vegetables or put in my carrots. I don't break because I ask some family tomato to break even. Next one not foot to be different system. So yes, I do on a small scale. I do same system. Do plan yangu. Parada on mas natanga katika small area. Nikatiza nikaenda kuona nikayapa large space. Here at first time I had about 1,000 plants. Now I've got about 2.5. plants. You see, I've increased the numbers.
The numbers, yeah.
I had 50 plants, the green paper. Now I want to put 1,200 plants. So it means that I'm increasing, looking at the capacity, as well as water capacity, more importantly, manpower, pest and control mechanism, even weeding. Am I able to do it? Even labor intensive yard. And them one. So I have also to learn how to do it. Can I be able to bring in another one? All those are things that I'm looking at.
Let's talk about marketing. How did you? You said how did you link up with people from Norton to come and purchase your product? Here, you spoke of how the butternut. Someone came from Marange of Marange dynasty. They bought most of your butternut. How are you looking for market?
So, first thing must have a good quality. Secondly, be able to talk. So the tomato I went to Norton. I wanavakazi umsika wawe. By then umsika sandaki, which is the 33 kg. The crate was going for around $16. Nikawati mkaya kwangu ni ndo kupai nema $12. So for them, if they come and take 10 crates per week, they've reduced the figure. I know now, but so that's $11. Because I have the market. Also, Bagatinga, the shelf life of a tomato must be very enticing. They want which could go up to a month.
Yes.
And I do that. I make sure my tomato can go up to a month. Then the butternut, again, a good product, tasting nice.
Yeah.
So I would go, I went to food lovers. I went in the sugar market. But one wakuru. So I went, then I met this guy, but they're looking nice. I wonder, say, I don't know, I've got about 2 tons. I was like, can I come and take them? What about Mary? Good town, I eat 75 cents per kg. I sold them at 50 cents. For me, I've reduced the price, the cost here, transportation.
Cost,
yeah. Also the risk. Because kumbari, they would give you it 40 cents. Or even you check it for 60 cents. I weigh. So those are things that I looked at. Yeah, so it's important that I try to not on now I'm more known. They know what kunoko. It's 1 month.
Shelf life. Yeah. It's long.
Because I don't put much fertilizers. I put much of manure. So plus I put fertilizers. I put fertilizer. You know, betela kuomba plant disimbe. Kwete ya mwana nitrate. You know that planting kukasa kuiva. I don't mind. It takes long kuiva, but can I iva pacho? Your gara the shelf life.
There you have it, Zimbabwe. This was the story of one Ncube, journalist come
farmer. Come rubber farmer.
We were talking about how he started farming and the journey that he's traveled. We promise you that we will be back here. So before this episode, I spoke to Miss Ncube. I got no chimbomirai. Next year, March. I don't know. No, I said no. Let's do it now, so that we show people the beginning, and we'll come back again in March.
How in March you'll be surprised?
Yes, because one of them is really easy to tackle these things. It's not easy, so it's important to show.
You sacrifice a lot, sir. You sacrifice your personal status. Farming is regarded as chincha or thank God now. Farming, people are now taking it as a new thing.
There's a boom. There's a content is now focusing on agriculture.
Let me tell you one thing. COVID-19 has taught people to be self-reliant, self-sufficient, to have food. Besides money, people are so conscious of what they're eating now. Personally, I don't eat GMO food. I will take my butternut, I take my own tomatoes. That I know there's less fertilizer. That I know there's less chemicals. I eat my own rep, my own tsunga, my own rugari. It is less less chemicals, and I feel like there's less exposure to cancer. People, when I wish cancer for HIV AIDS.
It's not a laughing matter, but it's up there. So I think it's also because of all these chemicals.
Yes, we're eating a lot of things. But now, if we are conscious of what we eat, so here I've got. I told you you saw about those roadrunners. I've stopped eating my broiler. I kill my own roadrunners. Don't like that chicken. I stopped because I realized those roadrunners, people are giving them feeding with it right. I'm not discouraging people to do. No, people must do it.
But there was a time people would inject them with HIV. I don't know, some HIV medication so that
they grow big. Those are things that pushed us to go into roadrunners. I even mazai. If you test zaire huku, or zaire toki, or zaire hanga, if you eat it, otra zaire varia, the taste is just different.
I'm imagining you at a press conference because we would mix at these press conferences.
Yeah, this is a lifestyle now. It's my lifestyle, and I'm enjoying it. It's my lifestyle now. I spend most of my time here. One thing about farming, you can do both, but don't do soft on farming. I discourage people to do that. Shake up a ground. Chiro kawana mushanga nogona say dzidzao kuti zvinoitwa sei. It will help you.
Boskana yachiziva usingaziva akafungota handakuda kurwa pasi iwe unotomunyengerera kuti
no, I had an incident that when I went to Batanat. We shared we shared the chemicals in on because you'd sell and lie to me that
that's prayer.
So until Batanat yesterday, and I had to I spray on my own times. I wake up at 4 when I'm here. At 4, both down 7 o'clock must be in town, right? So I wake up early and I mix the two. That's the important thing. Be able to balance the two and it will help you a lot.
There you have it. We have come to the end of this episode. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for supporting CVN. And if you want to be in touch, to get in touch with Mr. Ncube, you want to learn 1 or 2 tricks of how he transitioned from being a media person into a farmer, or you want to learn 1 or 2 tips on farming butternuts, tomatoes, vegetables, and other crops, we will put his details in the comment section. And thank you for watching.